Okay, joining us now, we're so excited to welcome to the show General Michael McGuire. He's chair of the National Guard Association. He has served his country. The people under him have served his country. A lot of integrity here. So, sir, it's great to have you on. President Biden not giving Homeland Security more money in the middle of an historic crisis at the border. What's going on here?
Well, Liz, thanks for having me. We've been talking about this for at least 2 weeks. Governor Ducey has been calling on the federal government, and in my role here as the commanding general and the emergency manager for emergency management and military affairs in Arizona, we've surged our soldiers and airmen to the border under Bush, Obama, and Trump administrations because we believe that border security is not only national security, but it's community security. And we're seeing with increased illegal crossings some real security issues for people and personnel on both sides of the border as the rule of law is degraded even further here in southern Arizona.
So why not get you guys more money? I mean, you have a humanitarian crisis, a national security crisis, a public health crisis at the border. There's not more money coming, and Democrats are still AWOL, not going to the border, talking President Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris, House Speaker Pelosi, Senator Chuck Schumer. They're not going there. So they claim no crisis, but then they tried to claim it's Trump's fault. I mean, that's a weird 180.
Well, I think the change in policy, as an example, we've seen back in the previous surge of illegal crossings, we had only about 15% claiming asylum. In our Yuma sector here in southwestern Arizona, that number has pivoted from 80% of the illegal crossers are claiming asylum. I believe it's safe to say that they are looking for loopholes to take advantage of this. And the time is becoming so crowded in the facilities that Customs and Border Protection are releasing in some of our more rural communities up to 50 personnel per day that are either adults or family units into the communities that have less than 1,000 people in them. And that creates a humanitarian and a public health crisis for these very, very rural and under-resourced communities.
Yeah, it's not fair to them. It really isn't fair to these rural communities and these border towns, what they have to contend with because of failed border policies. So we hear you loud and clear. We've got this, too. Democrats are even saying, hey, what are you doing? Democrat Iowa Representative Ashley Hinson is saying, Nancy Pelosi, do you see what's happening at the border? You got to go there. The Congress has been kicking the can for far too long. So they sit there in D.C. and criticize border authorities. They criticize the people at the border trying to do the right thing, but then they don't go there. They're AWOL there. Your reaction to that?
Well, Liz, you're right about this one key factor. Without the Biden administration authorizing federal funding for our guardsmen, we can only be in support of our county sheriffs and other local law enforcement who are doing great. We can provide resources to the local community, but the real need is a surge back to Customs and Border Patrol, to our ICE agents, and to our immigration services, all three of which we have served over the past 3 administrations. But if we don't get that authorization from President Biden, we are not going to be able to slow this problem down, and the communities will be less safe on both sides of the border, both in Mexico and in Arizona.
We hear you loud and clear, but the White House press secretary today, Jen Psaki, failed to say if Biden will even reverse the policies, his policies that are creating the border crisis. Your final word.
My final word is we're calling again on President Biden to reconsider that decision and fund what is clearly a federal responsibility.
Got it. General McGuire, thanks for your service to our country, and thanks for coming on. It's good to see you.